Barcelona, Spain, with the first turn in the wheel with the 2019 Mercedes-AMG CLS-53. It is clear just what the rebranding, or watering down when you, of all freaked Melcher gross patch is made for. This car smoothly balances the struggle between road comfort and handling that does not long ago was BMW's purview. That's the way the new AM-tuned versus the AMGs with hand-built engines models fit in, as the cars and SUVs meant to snag traditional BMW buyers. The Mercedes-Benz CLS-450 below it, that second name is Benz, not AMG, and also the Mercedes-AMG GT54, GT63 and GT63S four-door coupe above it bookend this nicely balanced four-door coupe. The CLS-450 drives as being a traditional Benz, with quieter, less urgent acceleration and slower steering response. As the GT four-door coupes know, we didn't arrive at Drive 1 promise to become big, stiff, brutish muscle cars achievable traditional AMG runaway train acceleration. This AMG will not be your typical auto bank-rushing muscle car, but a substantial sports sedan that feels less space-consuming than it is, with probably the best tuned electronic power steering this critic has encountered as of yet. It's quick and precise without getting fat, and complements a company bus smooth chassis with just the correct amount of compliance at turn-in, the compliance that only enhances seat-off-the-pants feedback. The design on the third-generation CLS-Class looks smooth, too, together with the organic, minimalist side surfacing. It's easily by far the most handsome in the three generations on this car, along with perhaps the best-looking four-door having a fast coupe-like roofline out there. Contributing towards the overall feeling of smoothness is Mercedes' silky new inline six-cylinder engine coupled into a 48-volt electrical system. The twin-turbo version with the i6 made its debut within the European markets class early this season in Europe. In the CLS-53 4MATIC Plus heading stateside late this current year, the twin-turbo 3.0-liter i6 is rated 435 horsepower, having an additional 22 horsepower available over short periods using the EcoBoost mild hybrid system. Torque is 384 lb-ft, plus another 185 lb-ft through the 48 volts. Power happens progressively and, here's that word, again, smoothly, but not at all like one particular blown AMG V8s and V12s that established the German hot rod brand's reputation. The Mercedes-AMG CLS turns into a different animal with this particular third-generation model, because doing so will not be offered with any V8 option. You'll need to move up to your Mercedes-AMG GT63 four-door if you'd like V8 power. The 53 and the AMG CLS plus the AMG GT53 four-door will not be hand-built engines, but you are AM-tuned. This engine has an electronic compressor that starts 0.3 seconds to the launch, for lag-free power. So again, smoothness may be the operative word. Of course, if you're an enthusiast who prefers that sort of driving style, you could prefer it for the acceleration sensations to become pushed directly into your handsomely finished, aggressively bolstered driver's seat that you will get from a hand-built AMG V8. The 53 engine's exhaust burble might begin with seem unnatural in this car's sublime environment, but it's a proper burble that amps up in Sport and Sport Plus modes, a proverbial motorboat burble that seems to sound exciting and comforting while doing so. Same while using brakes, that happen to be as effective and progressive since you can find, without grabbiness. We played around together with the dynamic settings and couldn't discern any difference in suspension between Sport and Sport Plus, although a Mercedes engineer says an added stiffness of Sport Plus is much more obvious at quicker and tighter corners than we managed in Catalonian mountain traffic. Differences between Sport and Sport Plus from the Ninetronics automatic shift patterns are obvious though, especially in these mountains. you would probably perennially bear this car in sport to the aggressive upshifts and downshifts, which perfectly match the twisty uphill and downhill runs. With that exhaust rumble, it's like AMG dropped a soundtrack derived from one of Lewis Hamilton's drives to the audio system. So you ought to your in Sport Plus? It holds lower gears for a longer period. This means maybe a little less upshifting and downshifting. The only why you should consider comfort mode are fuel efficiency, and Metro Detroit roads. This all comes from the driver's seat, which is to be familiar to whoever has driven any kind sporting Mercedes. The seats are comfy and, as noted earlier, well bolstered, and they're active bolsters, should you so choose. There's probably a massage setting within the Mercedes-AMG CLS-53 4MATIC Plus S front seat controls, though I didn't bother to confirm until we drove the less sporting CLS-450 4MATIC. The CLS features Mercedes' new widescreen cockpit that has a long expanse of rectangular glass covering two 12.3-inch displays, one to the navigation audio system and also the other for the gauges, reconfigurable as Sport, Classic, and Progressive. This upright display, along with the small column-mounted electronic gearshift, seems a tad conservative for that swoopy CLS to start with glance, but it's sleek, not too difficult and straightforward, and delay pills work. It's topped, which has a richly padded, stitched leather dashboard cover, and flanked by round, color-coded vents that glow blue when you're cooling off the cabin, and red when you're heating it. Nobody does ambient lighting like Mercedes. This all creates a pleasantly luxurious Mercedes experience, even in the event you save some Bitcoin and go with the Benz CLS-450 4MATIC. My drive partner and I experimented with Snagger rear-wheel drive CLS-450 to determine whether it might be the smart choice, but there was clearly none to get had. Thankfully, no North American journalists were subjected towards the CLS-350D or CLS-450D diesels, which won't be imported to us. There can be a Mercedes-Benz CLS-300 coming, while using 2.0-liter turbocharged gasoline i4, though there aren't any plans to import that either. Anyway, the CLS-450 4MATIC is often a pleasant enough car, though its slower, less communicative steering becomes immediately apparent. Its 3.0-liter inline E6 is rated at a proper 367 horsepower, along with the additional short bursts of 22 horsepower from your EcoBoost 48-volt system. The engine isn't a whole lot less spirited as opposed to AMG 53s, but it's not the type of four-door coupe that begs that you give it exercise through the S's. An E300 will probably serve this segment of Benz customers better, having its more fuel-efficient Turbo 4 and much better rear seat space. The CLS has ample rear legroom, and headroom is marginally adequate because of this sub 6-foot driver, but as with several four-door coupes, the roofline and beltline compromise the outward view through the back seat. It's the Mercedes-AMG CLS-53 4MATIC Plus which can hit the sweet spot. It's the version on the car the place that the dynamics best match the nice looks, and it's whatever car we employed to expect from Mercedes' chief rival. 2019 Mercedes-AMG CLS-53 4MATIC Plus specifications. Late 2018. Price: $95,000 base. Engine: 3.0 liters twin-turbo Doc 24-valve I-6435 HP at 6,100 revolutions per minute, 384 lb-ft at 1,8005, 800 revolutions per minute plus 48-volt electric motor 22 HP, 185 lb-ft. Transmission: 9-speed automatic. Layout: 4-door, 4-passenger, front-engine, AWD sedan. EPA mileage. NA. LXWXH. 196.9 by 74.4 by 56.0 inches, wheelbase. 115.7 inches, weight. 4,366 pounds, 060 miles per hour, 4.4 seconds, top speed. 155 miles per hour.